All right, so let's get to the fucking clusterfuck of the night. Aside from the whole show, personally. So my thing here is Sammy versus Hardy. Starts off a little weird. Hardy kind of just waits around for Sammy to drive up the ramp and hit into the pre-selected boxes. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it was, it started weird, which I was fine. I was like, I could give it a pass. Then they start brawling. It's looking good. It's looking good. And then they decide we're gonna hit the scissor lift. And they got the gimmicked up table waiting for them to go through it. And Sammy, did he spear him or run him off? The other.
Yeah. Yeah, he speared him. I mean, I guess spear is a good way to say what it was, but yeah, technically that's what he did, and then he just overshot it.
Yeah, so he overshot the table, and
Mhm.
Matt Hardy literally, I'd say probably all of his upper body and back and head and everything from his waist up looks like it hit the concrete.
It all hit the concrete, but what looked bad, what looked worse of everything else, is that it looked like his head bounced off the concrete.
Right.
And that's fucking nuts. It's bad enough if your upper body hits it, yes, but the fact that his head bounced off the concrete, I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised he ain't dead. I'm gonna just
I
come out and say it. I am surprised he ain't dead,
I'm
or at
surprised
least
he
he didn't
didn't.
have a fractured skull.
I'm surprised he didn't bleed. I'm surprised he didn't fucking bleed.
That well, it could have all been internal, but you're right too. I am surprised he didn't bleed bust open for that too. You're right.
Here's
You're
the
right.
thing. Here's the thing. I didn't like. Not only that, I thought, like, legitimately thought, like, it was scary at this point for me, like, personally. It kind of fucking just brought my whole mood down. But he didn't fucking move
Oh.
for the first, like, 60 seconds, dude.
Nope.
Not a limb. He didn't
Nope.
roll. His foot didn't roll one way or another. His arms didn't move. I thought he might have been paralyzed.
Well, that's I didn't think of paralysis. I was thinking he might have been dead, but you're right that was possible too. You're right. You're absolutely right. It was
I
scary.
thought paralysis. I thought he was
Uh,
paralyzed because he literally, if you maybe I missed it, but I was just so like, holy fuck, that when I'm sitting there watching it, I'm kind of like, I start looking at his legs and his hands, and maybe they moved a little bit, and obviously it's a far camera shot, not too far, but it's far enough where you can't see super slight movement. But I would have thought, like, as he's coming through, like his coming to his foot may like wobble back and forth, or his arm, but he literally didn't move. It could have been, look, he was knocked out. He might have
yeah.
been knocked out for a good amount of that time. And then he finally, once he really started coming through, then I saw his arms move. I go, okay, his arms are working. And then he started moving with the legs. That was fucking scary.
Yeah.
Kenny says, Tony Khan said on the media scrum that Hardy cleared concussion protocols and is okay. Okay, we'll get to this bullshit.
We're gonna get to that because
We're
that's
gonna
where I'm
get to
gonna
this
get really.
bullshit.
That's where you're gonna get the flames for me because yeah, that's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
what's going
Matter
on.
of fact, I'm gonna put the flames on early, boys. Kenny, the flames are on, baby. So, okay. I've been saying this for a long time. You're trying to do too much. Everybody's trying to do too much. The fucking wrestlers, the promotions, like not. Stop trying to do so fucking much. Stop trying to be so fucking crazy. All right. If it's a small table spot like that, you got nothing else padding that area. That's solid concrete. That's fucking. That is laid concrete, man. All right. The other thing is, Aubrey throws the X up, and it takes the fucking doctor like 10 minutes to get over there.
Yeah.
Then Sammy proceeds to try to fucking get him up, and they're doing whatever, and then Hardy's trying to like punch Sammy from the ground, and Hardy's trying to get up, and he can barely walk. He's like losing his balance and falling. And then he falls again in him and Sammy going at it and smashes his fucking head again.
Yep.
He smashed his head again, dude.
And Sammy should not have even touched him. I get that they had show goes on, etc., etc. I get it. If I'm Sammy Guevara, though, I'm not touching him. You don't even touch him. Leave him alone. Fuck the show. Man's life is in your hands here. Do what you need to do. Let the doctor get over there. Again, why it took that fucking long after the X was brought up for him to even get over there is beyond me.
And Kenny says, it's about time. Let's go. Flames, baby. Here's the fucking deal. Like, the X went up, and Sammy, at this point, I don't care what Matt's saying. Matt just fucking got knocked clean. Yeah, I don't care if Matt is going, yo, keep going. Fuck this. Yeah. Wrestlers have this mentality to just keep going no matter what. Broken sternum, broken leg, whatever. But at that point, when that X went up, that should have been it. Sammy shouldn't have touched him. It shouldn't have continued. The doctor came in finally. They kind of stopped it. Then you hear the in the background, you hear the fucking bell. Ding, ding, ding. Match over. So Sammy does like a kind of slower thing, walking out, ranting and raving. And then they go and restart the fucking match randomly after like a supposed fucking concussion protocol thing that happened all within like a 2-minute span. All right.
Well, apparently Tony Khan had the bell ring because he didn't want to stop the match. He wanted to pause the match to make sure that everything was okay and that Matt was okay, which again, you're not going to have after 15 seconds or so that the doctor was looking at him. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you talking about? You're not going to have the doctor looking for 15 seconds. You're not going to pause the match. There's no pausing of it. You should have finished it off, ended it there, and that was it. And what was so stupid is that after they did bring it back on, they knew that they had to end it very quickly. What's your point? What's your point? You're just to have something else possibly happen to your performer?
And and like you said, they literally go from fucking he can barely walk at one point to now he's back out there. They restart the match. They brawl up. They get onto the stage, and I'm like, here we go. And then I think fucking JR said, nothing good could come of being on the stage.
Right.
So what do? Sammy decides he's gonna climb up this fucking contraption, and guess who's gonna climb up with him? The guy who could barely walk, let alone fucking. So now he's gonna climb up there and risk possibly falling off of that thing because he's not totally there. And then Sammy goes through the gimmick and he gets fucking counted out and Hardy wins the match. Bro,
I mean, if that was part of the match, they needed to very quickly rewrite what they were going to do to finish this off. To go through a spot like that, try to bring this guy up, drag this guy up with you, who is easily concussed. So we know he's concussed, even though Tony Khan was like, well, it's not definitely he was concussed. We're going to get to that with his wife. It was complete bullshit. At the very least, this motherfucker was concussed. All right? So forget everything else. Forget the fact that he might have broken something else, hurt something else. Once you're concussed, you stop.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what you're doing. You stop. Tony Khan, I'm going to say it here, proved to me that this promotion is still fucking Bush League with this moment. This was a fucked up moment in the very short history of this promotion. And there's no excuse for this. There is no excuse for what happened here. I don't know what else to say about it. This was it was horrifying.
I won't say that he doesn't take care of his people. I won't go that far. I won't say it's Bush League. I'll say it was a very, very shitty decision, and it was fucking done. It was irrational to do it.
It was irresponsible.
It was
irrational and irresponsible.
It was stupid. It shouldn't have fucking continued. It's that simple. Ended how it ended. If you got to fucking, it's wrestling, bro. You could explain shit away. If Hardy got to come back on the mask or come back as Damascus, whatever the fuck has to happen on his I'll leave AEW shit, that's it. You make him lose the match. Bring him back under. Yes.
Exactly.
Bring him back under a mask, attacking Sammy every week. Rewrite the program a little, make it a little longer. Bring it into the next pay-per-view, or you just fucking he comes back as Damascus or one of his other fucking alter egos, and you could even use the fucking the being knocked out more as the they already used it, the head trauma from the chair and all that, and prior to the chair I think he had something happen. where he was kind of in and out of his alter egos. So there you could easily write your way out of this scenario.
And
right?
you could tell they knew they fucked up, because throughout the program they're giving these updates. Oh, Doc Sampson allowed the match to continue. Oh, actually no, he didn't allow it to continue. He made a motion to call off. They were very awkwardly trying to update throughout the program, basically trying to constantly change their story for what had happened. And it was ridiculous. Now, Tony Khan, basically he took part in a media scrum afterwards. And, one of the highlights of the call, he's like, well, the health and safety, it's the most important thing, blah, blah, blah. He said, it looks like Matt's going to be okay. Khan personally stopped the match and rang the bell to pause it, and that Matt passed a concussion protocol. There is no fucking way that he passed a concussion protocol. There is no way that is possible. And, Reba, which, we'll get into a little bit too, his wife, I'm sorry, not Reba, Rebbe, she basically was saying, that as of this afternoon, he had a CAT scan done. He needed additional imaging. He was in the hospital still. He definitely had a concussion. And again, anybody with two eyes can tell you that. So, and she was freaking out. I mean, I guess to add a little bit of humor, it's not really funny, but, she posted on her social media, and I'll quote, "Let me be absolutely fucking clear. There is nothing entertaining about a concussion. Shame on everybody in that goddamn building." You basically have her showing her text with Matt, where Matt's basically saying to her, love you. I got to hit the football field in just a minute to start a match. Hope you enjoy. And these are her following texts. She goes, "I love you," with 500 exclamation points. "Don't be dumb. What the fuck? You practically cleared that table. What the fuck? Matt, what the goddamn fucking fuck?" It's like she's probably freaking out seeing this.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
This poor dude is a family who also, his kids are maybe watching this too. One of them at least is old enough to be able to see it. It's just, and you're right. I probably I went a little bit too far. I'm sure that Tony Khan does care about his performers, but he had a terrible way. He made a bad choice. He had a terrible way of showing it. And he and his entire crew need to have a post-mortem after the show for having protocols in place for what happens when something like this happens again. That's what they need. They need a post-mortem, because this was absolutely anything that they could have done wrong, they did wrong. And they were all, Tony Khan, the entire company, was goddamn lucky if the only thing he has is a concussion.
Right. And they're out there fucking at the end in the media scrum, being like, like everything was all right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Exactly.
Explaining it away. So you fucked up. You just say you fucked up and move on with it. Shout out to George. What's up, brother? He's out in Australia, so it's morning for him.
What's up?
So good morning to you, brother. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You got anything else on that? I mean,
that's all there is. I mean, it was a mess, and it's a shame because it really could have been a very good match, and it could have had a very good, extension to the story. But yeah, it marred the whole night too. Unfortunately, I mean,
yeah, it really did.
You had the funny botch that happened in the Battle Royal, but then this was serious. Once you saw he was okay, it was. Once you saw he was okay, it was funny. Yes.
Yeah.
And then once you saw the
it was still
GIFs.
Fun.
But yeah, this was just sad.
Yeah. All right, flames off.
All right.
Flames off, guys.